to talk to you guys about Fastlane. So Fastlane basically allows you to deploy your applications completely. It will be completely automated, and you can deploy your applications to App Store or Play Store. So it's just like a collection of tools. Okay, 14 tools to be exact. So for us, mostly we face problems with iOS deployment. So whenever we deploy our iOS app, Xcode will throw some shitty errors. Like it will say something like, fix issue because there's some certificate mismatch with the provisioning profile and all that. Okay, so to fix that, this guy called Felix Cross, he built this Fastlane tool, and what you do is like you just use your npm. You just install a package called Fastlane using npm. It's a simple command. Npm install -g Fastlane, and it will install your package, okay, globally. And then finally, you just go to your your app project directory, root directory. So in my case, this is the fastlane.test app. So it's a very simple app. This has got like 5 screens, okay, and you just press a button on each screen and you go to the next one. Okay, that's all there is. So for this, what you do is like you just go to your project directory and type in Fastlane in it, and it will create a Fastlane folder for you. So in my case, this is the Fastlane folder. Okay, there are just like a couple of files. One is app file, the second is delivered file, the third one is fast file, and the fourth one is app file. Okay, so when you open up app file and fast file and delivered file, it will look like this. So basically the concept is that there are a couple of lanes, okay, and each lane you can tailor it to deploy to different like for example, you have Fastlane, then you have test flight, and you can also directly deploy to App Store, right? So in my case, we are mostly what we guys do is like we deploy to test flight and then we push it to the App Store. So for test flight, you just set up a lane called beta, and in this lane you just say that you're just going to use like 3 tools. One is cert, gem, and then there's test flight. So cert will basically just it will just check whether you have the correct certificate. Okay, so like for example, when I first run cert, right, it's just gonna log me in, and it's gonna check whether I have the certificate, the development certificate that I need to build my app. So it says that my certificate is there, and it's just gonna proceed to the next step, gem. So gem is what is equivalent of archiving your project in Xcode. So what you would usually do is just open up Xcode and then go to this thing, this particular target, and you say that you want to build for a generic iOS device, and then you just go to product and then archive, click archive, right? And then it will archive and then open up your organizer, and then you would say validate, upload to App Store and all that. And then after that, all the messed up stuff comes up, right? For example, you say upload to App Store and then it will say fix issue. So what Xcode usually wants is that it wants admin access. So it will say like, if you give your admin access to Xcode, it will just override all of your existing provisioning profiles, and then you will have to generate new ones. And that's why you will have problems like this. If you go to your developer account, you will see the provisioning profiles, and you will see something like XC adhoc star, XC iOS redback3.admin and stuff like that. So that XC basically denotes provisioning profiles that are generated by Xcode itself. You want to avoid that. We have already created the provisioning profiles by clicking the plus button and then setting up the provisioning profiles to use your particular distribution certificate and all that. But Xcode is doing that again, right? So we want to avoid that. So what we should do is we can all just be members instead of all of us being admin. Just one person can be an admin. He can create the distribution certificate for the company, and then he can distribute his provisioning profile this developer profile. We can export it out of XCode and send it over to all of us. And then we can import that, and we would get all the provisioning profiles, certificates, and everything that we need for our app development. So in this case, we are using Anish's developer profile. So once Anish gives us his developer profile, all we do is we go to Xcode preferences, and then here we just click on the settings icon, import developer accounts, and then we've got Anish's developer profile over here, right? So we just click that, and you have to enter the password, and it will add all the provisioning profiles and certificates for you. Then what will happen is Xcode will say that since you don't have Anish's developer account password, I can't show you any of the provisioning profiles inside Xcode. But all the provisioning profiles will be there in your Toolchain and everything. So your certificates will come up here. There's one more thing. So most of the time when we install certificates, right, some of the certificates might be revoked, some might expire, but we never bother to remove it from our keychain, right? So whenever we export our developer account, developer profile, those expired certificates will also be exported. So when we import into another system, those expired profiles or certificates will also show up. So we have to first remove them, only then there will be no conflict. We have faced that problem, remember? Like we had 3 distribution certificates, one of them was revoked, and then when we built using Xcode and uploaded, it was saying, no, I can't use this distribution certificate because it's revoked, or because there's a conflict. So those kind of issues can be avoided by doing that. Okay, so next what we do is we just run the script. So let me just explain line by line what this script does. So first of all, you have a beta lane, okay? In the beta lane, we just say first you want to check whether the certificate is there, okay, relevant certificate is there. So first, the cert command takes in the first parameter is development. So this basically says that you want to check if the development certificate is there or not. So that's why you set it to true. And then this force, right, you always want to set it to false because you already created the development certificate. So if you set force to true, which is done by default, then it will create a new development certificate for you. You shouldn't allow it to do that. That's why I've set force to false. And then I'm saying that this is my username, Atilana and my keychain password. Once I do that, I proceed to the gym command. So in the gym command, what will happen is your Xcode, right? It has a couple of schemes. So the default scheme will be the one in your app name, Fastlane.test. So you set the scheme, and then you say that you want to clean the project before building it. So that's why I've set clean to true. And then finally you want to mention that this is the code generality that it's supposed to use to build your app. So I've set that to iPhone distribution and all that, right? So you basically pick that up from keychain, okay, and you just basically copy paste that name over here, and then finally you say export method is App Store. Okay, so before TestFlight was introduced, we had ad hoc deployment. That's why we could create ad hoc distribution certificates, ad hoc certificates. So what that would do is it would allow us to distribute it among internal and external testers. But after TestFlight was introduced, you had to add something called a beta entitlement. And that beta entitlement is only added if you use the App Store distribution profile. So distribution provisioning profile, right? So that's what you create by going to your developer account and then create a profile for distribution, and you would say, no, I want the distribution provisioning profile for App Store, not ad hoc. So you would select that option, and then you would say that this is the certificate, this is the distribution certificate that I want to use, and finally generate the provisioning profile, right? So after doing that, when you use that to build your archive, then only it adds the beta entitlement. Otherwise, you would get errors like this. See, the first 3 builds I built using the ad hoc provisioning profile. So basically, it didn't add the beta entitlement, so I couldn't distribute it among our internal testers. So I couldn't basically add a tester and say that you have to use this version of my build for test like this. So after you do that, After you do that, you just gem gets executed. You get an archive. You can see that in your organizer in Xcode, and then you finally use testflight command. So in testflight command, you say like you have to mention these 4 options by default. So you have to say like username. This is your username. So for example, if it's Danny, say it's Danny. So you would have to mention as Danny@redbacteria.com. Only then it will use your ID to log into iTunes Connect. And then for app identifier, you have to set it like your app identifier, which would be, it's actually not your app identifier, it's your bundle identifier. So that would be conf.redbacteria or Fastlane or test. And then skip submission basically says that you want to upload the build to your test flight, but you don't want to promote it to, testing, not yet. Okay, you don't want it to go to App Store yet. You just want it to be there on iTunes Connect servers, but you don't want it to be on the App Store yet. Right? So that's why you say skip submission. And then by default, what testflight does is like, if you don't mention the option skip waiting for build processing, it will wait until Apple sends a message back to you saying that your app has been approved. So to skip all that, you say skip waiting for build processing too. And then it will just, as soon as it's done, it will this thing come out of the process. And then finally, this is awesome. So basically, like whenever you're uploading a build or whenever your build is uploaded or rejected, you can basically tell Fastlane to send you a Slack message. So the Slack message can be either sent to a channel or to your username, right? So to do that, what you have to do is like you have to go to your Slack, go to integrations. Okay, so this will open up your Slack group on your browser, and then from there you just have to go to build. Manage. Okay. So in custom integrations, you're going to create a webhook. So I've already created like 2 webhooks. One is a Fastlane test channel and the other one is a private channel. Right? So you would basically create a webhook. You get the webhook URL. Okay, so this is your webhook URL, and you take that URL and just put it here. Before here, basically what it does is like before running any lane, it will first set your Slack URL in the environment. Okay. So once you set up the URL, after execution, it will basically go to this particular lane, and it will say like if the procedure ended successfully, it will just put up your custom message on Slack. And if there was an error, it would just show you the error itself. So as you can see, like there are a couple of messages from this like Fastlane, right? So it says that this failed because the current project wasn't reset, was not there or something, right? And whenever it was deployed, it deployed and it just gives me the message. That's it. So one more thing you can do with Fastlane is that you can automate the generation of screenshots. Okay, so screenshot, usually what you would do is like you would open up your simulator, and then for each screen you would just take a command shift 4 and then you would take a screenshot, right? You don't have to do all that. All you have to do is go to your project, set up a new target, okay? And then you would just go to test and choose the iOS UI testing bundle. Okay, once you do that, it will create this folder for you where you'll have a Fastlane test.zip file. So here what you do is like in the test example function, you just click your this thing. Zoom. Okay. How do I zoom? Scroll up. Doesn't work. Okay. So yeah, so basically what you do is go to test example, okay, and then you click the red button. So okay, this will just record a UI test. This is Xcode 8.2.1. Okay. Okay. So basically it will launch your simulator and you have to start interacting with your simulator so that it will generate the code for you, the UI testing code. So you can see, right, as soon as I press it, it creates code for me. That's it. So once you're done with it, you just press the button again and it will stop UI recording. Now what you have to do is like, whenever you want to grab a screenshot, all you would have to do is copy one particular command, snapshot, and then you just name it. Okay. So for example, if it's the first screen, I want to call it first view, right? So I will just take this code, put it wherever I want this thing to be recorded, screenshot to be grabbed, right? So I will just go there and put it in there. So this would be second view. Okay, so I've got my 5 screens. Now all I have to do is go to terminal and type in Fastlane snapshot, and that's it. It will launch the simulator for you. It will basically capture screenshots for 4 different screen sizes and as many languages as you want. So to configure all that, you just go to your this thing snap file and say in the devices area you just mention whichever devices you want to take a screenshot for. And for languages you can mention like ENUS or DE for Dutch and all that. So you can do all that, and it will automate the screenshot grabbing process for you. And then yeah. Okay. I was going to go for the second one. As this goes on, you can see all the screenshots being generated over here. You can see iPhone 6, all the screenshots, and then iPhone 6 Plus, then iPad Pro and all that. Okay. So all these screenshots will show up over here. And then finally what you do is, you can actually use this tool called Frame It, and Frame It will just wrap all these screenshots in device frames. So I'll just show you a sample. So just two words, Fastlane, framing, and that's it. Just framing all the screenshots that are inside my folder. For each screenshot, it's just creating a single word. Okay, so now you see, right? All these screenshots, they've been framed. Now you can just upload these screenshots directly to your app store. So for that, you would use something called deliver. Okay, so what deliver does is, it basically connects to iTunes Connect, uploads all the metadata that you want it to upload, and it will just put it up there on the app store. Okay, so let me show you. I did this for this app, and it uploaded all of my screenshots over. Okay, so this is the output of the Fastlane snapshot command. So once it takes all the screenshots, it basically creates an HTML file for you where it will show you all of the screenshots that it has generated so far. Okay, and you can use this to distribute it to your managers and say that, okay, this is what you have to show to your customer. So all that is automated for you. This app file, right? This is where you would usually set your app identifier and Apple ID, okay, and your team ID. Without this, it won't be able to identify whether your app is there on the App Store or not. So this is very important. Okay. So that's for iOS, and let's go for Android. Okay, for Android it's the same procedure. You again go to your project root directory, do Fastlane init, and you would get your Fastlane folder. Here there are just two tools. One is supply, and the other one is screen grab. Okay. So basically, what supply does is that it will just build your APK for you, and then it will just upload it to Play Store. But here's the problem. Play Store is not very open about its APIs. So basically, the first time that you have to upload your APK, you have to do it manually. You have to go to your Play Developer console, and then you have to hit upload APK, and you have to upload your APK. Only then the package name will be set. After the package name is set, you can just go to your app file, and you can set your package name over here, so that Fastlane will be able to identify that your app exists on the Play Store console, right? So the other thing that is needed is your JSON key file. Okay, this is like your private key, right? So it's only available to the admin or admin of the developer console, right? So if Red Factory has its account on Toolchain developer console, then only Shambhu would have the JSON file. So you have to ask him for the file, and then you have to keep it in your computer and give the path for that file, and then whenever you are uploading your app to Play Store, it will be authenticated using this JSON. The second thing is a fast file again. So again, you would be saying that this is your Slack URL where all the messages have to be posted, and this is your beta lane. Okay. So in the beta lane, right, for React Native, whenever you want to create a build, you always do your Gradle command, right? So once you run your Gradle command, you get your APK file and so on. So that same thing is being done here. You're basically saying you want to run your assemble release task using Gradle, so that's that command for you. And then using supply, you just say that this APK this APK is over here, and you're given a path to that APK, and you're saying that you want to upload the APK only for alpha testing. Okay, no open alpha, closed alpha, none of that stuff. Just say that it has to be uploaded to the alpha track. So once you do that, you also have to mention your package name. Once you mention that, it will just take that APK that was generated using Gradle, and it will push it to the alpha track. Okay, once it's over there, Yeah, so you can see, right? In alpha testing, the second version of the APK is all in base developer concept. So after that, you can basically promote it to beta testing or production. So all this can be automated using Fastlane. That's all. So, and again, the screenshot process is the same thing. So it will all be done by a single command. So that's all there is.